Right now at 5, controversy and calls for removal of some city leadership during the Carthage City Council meeting.
And we've got ourselves another chilly start out there. It's going to be cool. It's going to be breezy, but otherwise not a bad day. We'll look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Pittsburgh Police Department serves and protects the community with a car seat check lane.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. So here we are. It's Thursday. We're a little closer to Friday. I got to check on something. I'm moving around in my little thing where, I can hear stuff. It keeps cutting out on me. I think I got the cable messed up back.
It's mine too.
Yours? Okay. Well, then.
I think we just got problems this morning.
It's probably the solar eclipse, solar flare, something like that, some kind of interference, something like that. Who knows? But either way, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. Almost Friday. So I know some folks, you guys know I was at home yesterday. Just so you know, the little guy, he's fine. His eardrum burst.
Oh, poor kiddo.
So that's what was going on, but he's okay now, which is good.
Yes, that's fantastic.
That's good to be back up here. Believe it or not, I do miss being up here because the chair I have at home is not super comfortable.
Well, we missed having you.
Well, I've got some good news for you all today. If you like warmer weather and you like the sunshine, well, you're in luck. That's what we're going to have for us today. But the trade-off is it's going to get pretty darn windy out there. Our camera, Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin, looking pretty good so far. Still have some clouds out there, but we're going to continue to see gradual clearing as we go through the morning. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, also looking pretty good so far. We're sitting at 49 in Joplin, 51 in Pittsburgh. So again, a bit of a chilly start, but not too bad, but cooler than where we were yesterday morning at this time. We've got that northwest breeze out there. We're sitting in the upper 40s and low 50s across the area. So again, not bad, but because we don't have that rain, we don't have such wide fluctuations in the temperatures either. We're not cooler under this or warmer outside of this. We're sitting at 46 when the kids get on the bus this morning. Partly cloudy skies. Winds are going to start to gradually pick up. So it'll be northwest 5 to 10. We'll have some occasional gusts around 20. But by the time that bus brings them home this afternoon, we're looking at mostly clear skies. Northwest breeze 15 to 25. That's the sustained breeze with gusts upwards of 35, maybe even as close as 40 out there in some cases. We'll be about 61 by the time the kids come home. We're looking at highs into the upper 50s, low 60s again across the area today, but we'll be a little warmer. Some of us may even make the mid 60s, and we'll have a few stray clouds here and there. Otherwise, not a bad day. A lot of sunshine out there. Just got to deal with those winds. We are going to continue to warm up as we head into the upcoming weekend, and we're watching some thunderstorm chances next week. We'll look at all that in the full forecast, and that's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Prosecutors in Neosho, Missouri file a statutory rape charge against a Neosho school employee. Authorities say Jacob Oakes sexually assaulted a minor several times from 2021 to this year. He has not been arrested, as the warrant in the case includes a $5,000 code bond. Oakes is listed as a counselor at South Elementary School on the Neosho School District's website, though the district says he was put on leave when they became aware of the allegations. Missouri Governor Mike Parson announces $5 million in grants to fund equipment upgrades for law enforcement, fire service, and EMS providers across the state. The state's Department of Public Safety approved 70 grants for providers to buy new equipment, including patrol vehicles, body cameras, ambulances, radios, and more. The city of Joplin announces plans to revitalize Ewart Park thanks to voters renewing the quarter-cent parks and stormwater sales tax. Those plans include developing a new splash park, which the city says would be a state-of-the-art seasonal park to replace the aquatic center. It would feature water areas during the summer and an ice skating ribbon during the winter. They also plan to add a new playground, multi-use basketball court, and amphitheater. You can check out the designs through a virtual open house on our website. The city of Carthage will host a meeting later tonight to discuss the possible removal of the city administrator, Greg Dagnan, and consider articles of impeachment against the mayor. The decision to hold a special meeting to discuss these and other topics was made during Tuesday night's packed city council meeting. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has more.
The first meeting for some new Carthage City Council members was eventful. A motion to terminate City Administrator Greg Dagnan's employment immediately was proposed by City Council member Alan Snow, but according to the mayor, the motion was not appropriate.
They have to be able to have a hearing. They have to be presented with charges. There has to be a cause, and so far none of that has been presented. So you can't remove an officer of the city by making a motion to do it.
The discussion on the topic was rescheduled to happen on Thursday evening, alongside articles of impeachment against the mayor.
Anything that the mayor doesn't like, he tries to find a way to prevent from happening or prevent from being discussed, and I feel that this is just more of the same.
According to Snow and some other council members, the city has been divided and has lost trust in the city hall.
I don't believe that our city, because of the distrust, can move forward with the city administrator still serving.
I feel like Mr. Dagnan has taken on a little bit more of a role of a city manager, which is more direct authority in that role.
Part of the conflict lies around Dagnan's contract with the city.
I believe that the mayor gave him a letter to offer him a job that was never ratified or approved by council.
Traditionally by our city are between the employee and the mayor. That's the way they have always been done, and that's the way mine was done when I started.
According to Dagnan, the contract says he cannot be fired for the first 10 years unless there is a cause. We tried contacting the city's HR to understand the city's policy when it comes to employee contracts, the possible removal of the city administrator, and the consideration of articles of impeachment against the mayor. However, we cannot get a clarification on the procedure because of a motion made Tuesday night. New council member John Ashram made a motion to prohibit city employees from speaking to the media about city-related issues without the approval of the city council. The motion was tabled and added to Thursday night's city's council meeting as a resolution.
Some motions that were made should really have been either in the form of a council bill or a resolution, and they were not. None of them were on the agenda, which they need to be, and some of them are just the process. That was the wrong point in the process for a motion like that to be made.
We also tried contacting the city's attorney but couldn't reach him.
We're all one team, and if they don't want me on their team, that is okay, but there's actually rules that must be followed. There are our charter, ordinances, and state laws, and they need to follow them, and they're not doing that.
Well, I believe that removing Mr. Dagnan from the position would be a significant step towards healing the city and trying to pull us back together in a unified manner.
In Carthage, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
There's also a dispute regarding the Water and Electric Board and water and electric salaries. This city council also approved a motion declaring no confidence in the leadership of Mayor Dan Reif. Prior to going on air with this story, we did hear from the city's attorney. You can find the answers to our questions as well as additional information on the story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Pittsburgh Police Department yesterday conducted a car seat check lane event. Technicians inspected child seats and family response advocates provided families with information about their program. Members of the Rotary Club and Community Health Center were also on hand to help.
When the car seats are not installed properly, there is a greater risk of harm to the child. So it is our job to be able to make sure that they are installed properly, make sure that they are the right height and weight of the child, and just really overall just make sure that child is safe in transportation.
The event was part of the week of the young child. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Labette County High School, a basketball player signs with Fort Scott Community College. We'll have the details. Plus, President Biden and Japanese Prime Minister celebrate the relationship between the U.S. and Japan during last night's state dinner. And we have a cool and breezy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
$1.99 Sonic Crispy Tender Wraps are here for a limited time in bold flavors like hickory barbecue or a garlic butter bacon cheeseburger.
A high school basketball standout from Southeast Kansas signs a commitment in front of friends and family to ensure he'll stay in the area as a college basketball player. Xavier Phillips, a 6'4" senior guard at Labette County High School, signs his letter of intent to commit to Fort Scott Community College. The future Greyhound is excited about the opportunity to grow his game and grow as a person.
I went out and watched a couple games, and I felt like I fit their play style the best, and just the coach, we just fit really well together, and I think it just was good, the best fit. I'm just looking to forward to how much I'm going to improve over just 1 year, and just looking forward to bonding with a bunch of teammates.
Pittsburgh State softball is off until the weekend, but moves up in this week's Top 25 Coaches Poll. The Gorillas are now the number 9 team in the country. This comes after they've won 6 games in a row. PSU has a Top 25 showdown on the horizon. The Gorillas play 23rd ranked Washburn in a road doubleheader Friday night. And we've got another local team in the top 10 for baseball. Missouri Southern moves up to number 8 in yesterday's Coaches Poll. Lions trade places with Ashland, who was ranked 8 last week. Now they're in the 9 spot behind Southern. MSSU lost on the road to Rogers State on Tuesday. The Lions play 3 more road games this weekend at Northeastern State. To Major League Baseball, the Royals and Cardinals are both coming off wins Tuesday night. Each of them try to replicate that for yesterday. Rainy day at Busch Stadium. Cardinals down 1 in the second until Brendan Donovan crushes this pitch to right field. And that solo home run ties the game. Still tied, 6th inning. Brandon Marsh hits an RBI single into left field off Andre Palante. Phillies open up a 4-2 lead. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Interesting play here. Victor Scott II looks like he has an infield single, but the Phillies tag him out. That's because he took a step towards second base, putting him back in play as a runner. Cardinals can't catch a break. Last chance in the 9th. Runner on first. Jordan Walker grounds into a game-ending double play. Cardinals lose the series to Philadelphia 2-1. Elsewhere, the Royals win big over the Astros, 11-2 the final score. Seth Lugo picks up his 2nd win of the year. He goes 6 innings, allowing just 2 runs. Kansas City goes for the series sweep this afternoon. Then in the NBA, the Thunder win their 3rd game in a row last night, 127-89 over the Spurs. 4 different players score in double figures for OKC. Josh Giddey leads the way with a double-double off 20 points and 12 rebounds. Well, still to come, we're going to see why people in at least 2 states have been hospitalized after receiving cosmetic injections. Plus, get to check that forecast and the warm weather it's on the way when the KOAM Morning News returns.
With Heritage Track, right now you can get in the seat of a John Deere compact tractor.
Neosho Arts Council free concert in the park, April 16th.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:18 now on this Thursday morning. We've got a bit of a chilly start to the day. A few clouds here and there, but we're going to see gradual clearing through the morning. This is, of course, our camera on top of the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. It's starting to get breezy, and those winds are really going to ramp up as we head through the morning and into the afternoon hours out there. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line, looking pretty good so far. Roads are dry, of course, as we are not dealing with rain this morning. And the KDOT camera on 69 just south of Pittsburgh, also looking pretty good this morning. And, of course, 7th and range line, also looking fairly good. As I said, on calm days, we can show you that, things are looking all right. But when we have winter weather or storms or anything, we've got 100 different views we can go through. And that way you don't have to go outside into this business. We can just show it to you. 49 in Joplin right now. It does feel like 45. West-northwest breeze at 9 miles an hour. Temperatures around the region, we are holding into the upper 40s and low to mid 50s across the area. We still have just a few upper 40s out there. Most of us into the 50s. So again, it's a little cooler than yesterday, but still not too terrible out there. As we get our day underway, again, it will be breezy, and we're going to see partly cloudy skies initially. We'll start to clear out. A little cooler, though. Low 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon, we're ultimately looking at highs, roughly low to mid 60s out there. We'll have a few clouds here and there. Otherwise, again, not a bad day, but it's those winds. They're going to be northwest, gusting upwards of 35, maybe even upwards of 40 miles an hour in some cases. As we head into the evening, We're going to see some partly cloudy skies. We're looking at a few clouds that might pass through the late evening hours, and will start to clear out again overnight. But again, without the clouds as that blanket, and it's going to get pretty chilly, upper 30s, low 40s out there. So not quite frost freeze levels, but still a relatively cold night out there. Then we head into next week, where we're keeping an eye on thunderstorm chances across the area. So there is a severe risk that's been highlighted that does include our area. It's been out there for the last several days, so confidence levels are relatively high that we're looking at thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to severe. For us, we're looking by Monday evening. Now, we're still several days out, and you know how Mother Nature is. We can see changes, but at least for the last 3 days now, it's been a fairly consistent setup. We're going to start to see moisture return to the area over the next few days, so it's going to feel a little muggy out there. Not quite summertime mugginess, but it's going to feel a little more humid out there. And as we get into Monday evening, we're going to start to see showers and thunderstorms fire up, and by late Monday evening, say about 9-10 o'clock, that's when we're looking at our best window of strong to severe thunderstorms, and these could carry on into our Tuesday morning as well. So this is going to be an overnight event, is what's looking to be most likely for us as we head into Monday and into Tuesday. And then by Tuesday afternoon, all of this clears out, and we're going to warm back up again on the backside with those southwesterly winds. So again, we're going to keep a close eye on next week's storms, but we're just giving you that heads up now. You want to keep a close eye on Tuesday as well. Between now and then, warming up nicely, low even close to mid-80s heading into the weekend. We got those thunderstorm chances Tuesday and some additional storm chances by next Thursday and into Friday, and that will definitely cool us back down into the 50s. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
I'm Josh with Senior Insurance Consultants. If you're fishing for the right Medicare...
Joplin Springfield. Food Flash now taking applications. See our website, f4lfoods.com, for more information.
Topping Health Watch this morning, people in at least 2 states have been hospitalized after receiving cosmetic injections, commonly known as Botox. 4 cases have been reported in Tennessee and 2 have been reported in Illinois. The injections were administered in non-medical settings. Bacteria called Clostridium botulinum is an ingredient in Botox. The purified form is approved by the FDA for use by licensed healthcare providers as a cosmetic treatment. The CDC said in a statement the sources of the botulinum toxin products that sickened the patients in Tennessee and Illinois are currently unknown. According to the Tennessee Department of Health, an ongoing investigation involving the CDC, U.S. Food and Drug Administration, and multiple states suggests that the product administered was counterfeit. Botulism is a rare but serious illness. It's caused by toxins released by bacteria that attack the nervous system. Symptoms can include blurry or double vision, droopy eyelids, difficulty breathing, fatigue, slurred speech, and hoarse voice. A new study is suggesting climate change may be linked to more than 500,000 stroke deaths worldwide. Researchers from China looked at 3 decades of data on temperatures and strokes from more than 200 countries and territories. They found the number of stroke-related deaths and disabilities attributable to extreme temperatures have been increasing since 1990. In fact, the researchers found more than 500,000 deaths in 2019 may have been linked to temperature fluctuations blamed on climate change. Most of those deaths were associated with low temperatures. The study authors say men had more strokes related to extreme temperatures than women, but it affected people across all age groups. It's a National Donate Life Month, a time to raise awareness about organ donation and encourage Americans to register as donors. Right now, there are more than 103,000 men, women, and children on the National Transplant waiting list. Mandy Gaither has 5 facts about organ donation that you might not know.
It was a record year in 2023. Organ donors saved more than 46,000 lives, a new milestone in the U.S.
Unfortunately, it's not enough. As we speak today, there's more than 100,000 people awaiting organ transplant.
Dr. Bashar Akel with Mayo Clinic says it's important to know that another person is added to the organ transplant waiting list every 8 minutes in the U.S., and 17 people die waiting for an organ every day.
We always can change those dynamics. We can help more people receive the live organ transplant by becoming organ donors.
The doctor says every donor can save up to 8 lives, while a single tissue donor can impact the lives of as many as 75 people, and a kidney or part of a liver can be donated while the donor is still alive.
The donor usually maintains their quality of life, and interestingly enough, the liver will regrow back to its normal size within less than 90 days.
Finally, innovative technology is helping more people than ever get a life-saving transplant.
One of those new technologies is what we call organ perfusion, or some people have known this as an organ in a box. This applies to the liver, to the kidney, as well as to the heart, which allowed us to deliver life-saving organ transplant to more and more people.
Anyone interested in becoming an organ donor can sign up online at organdonor.gov/sign-up. You can also register in person at your local motor vehicle department. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If you have an iPhone, you can also register through the Health app. It sends your information to a national computer system. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a bit of a chilly start out there, but we've got a breezy and cool day ahead. We'll take a look at that forecast when we come back.
Home and life and save up to 25%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Right now at 5:30, Joplin residents get a chance to learn about plans for future downtown events.
And we've got a few clouds out there this morning, a little bit on the chilly side ahead of a breezy day. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, area construction companies head to Pitt State for the university's annual School of Construction Expo.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday. We are that much closer to Friday.
Yes, with a gorgeous weekend ahead of us.
We have an absolutely beautiful
like
weekend. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
I'm excited.
We got some much needed rain across the area yesterday. I know it kind of made the day a little dreary out there, but we need the rain. We got some rain. We're very happy to see it. Yeah, nothing too bad at all. Here's a quick look at the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line. We are dry and we are cool as we get this Thursday underway. Sitting at 49 in Joplin, 51 in Pittsburgh right now, and again, a little bit on the cool side. Temperatures, since we don't have rain, we don't have those wide fluctuations like we saw yesterday where some areas were dramatically cooler than their neighbors because it was raining. We're dry, so we are all into the upper 40s and low to mid 50s across the area. Not a bad start for the day whatsoever. Kids getting on the bus this morning. We're looking at partly cloudy skies. Winds are going to start to gradually pick up this morning, so we could see some occasional gusts to 20 and about 46 out there. When the bus brings them home, though, it's going to be a rockin' as the wind is really going to be howling out there. Northwest breeze sustained at 15 to 25. We're looking at gusts 35, maybe even upwards of 40 miles an hour in some cases, so do be aware of that today. Otherwise, mostly clear skies, about 61. We're still not exactly where we should be, but we're getting closer in terms of the temperatures, and as you know in the 4 states, average is, I don't even know where they come from because we never make average here. We're going to go from still below average today to well above average this weekend. But for the rest of today, again, mostly clear skies, a stray cloud here or there. We're looking at highs in the low to mid 60s across the area. As Elise alluded to, we have an absolutely gorgeous weekend ahead of us with well above average temperatures, and we're keeping an eye on some thunderstorm chances as we head into next week. We're going to talk about all of that in detail with your full forecast, and that's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Gorgeous weekend indeed. Thanks, Chris. Well, students in Fredonia, Kansas are now 5 years into running and operating a successful business. KOAM was there for the grand opening of the Hive 5 years ago. The coffee shop in Fredonia is now a staple in the community. KOAM's Anthony Saviello caught up with students to see just how far the business has come in 5 years.
A ringing of a bell is how most students start their morning. However, Fredonia Yellow Jackets prefer a different sound.
The reason I wanted to start working here is because I had so many advocators in the upper class, and I just loved those upperclassmen, so I wanted to work here with them. But also, it's a great opportunity to learn skills.
5 years ago, when the student-run coffee shop known as The Hive first opened, the walls were mostly bare and the menu had less options. Fast forward, and now it's a thriving business and hub for the community.
It's just something our school is really passionate about. Everyone who comes up from the elementary school or middle school is like, I want to work at The Hive, I want to be like the Hive managers and Hive supervisors. It's kind of like, I would say, like the cool thing to do at our high school. Everyone kind of wants to work here.
For students like Brenna Harvey, who has been working at The Hive since its early days, this place is a second home.
I feel like I've given most of my life to being at The Hive and coming up with new ideas. You know, I in the drawer every day, so I'm here a lot.
And though she's set to graduate this year, she's leaving The Hive in good hands.
I think this is a learning experience, so we're all growing and learning new things about coffee, about just our community, how to like be a team, especially when like things change, we all have to like adjust to it. But I do think that everybody should at least experience what it's like to work here.
For these students, The Hive is more than just a job. It's a right step for their future.
None of my family's ever been to college, so I kind of wanted to be the first. And
in the meantime, they'll continue to make a killer cup of coffee. Reporting in Fredonia, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
And to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of The Hive, the shop offered 10% off all drinks and food. Pitt State's Kansas Technology Center yesterday hosted its School of Construction Expo. The expo began in 2013 as a single company, providing an opportunity for PSU construction students to experience equipment they may see in their careers. 2 years ago, it expanded to include interior design and electrical technology exhibits and vendors.
So we try to bring a little bit of that to them. Last night we had a networking session with the companies, and we had education sessions that was open to the public and general contractors as well. And so we were trying to bring that to them, and it's free to them and to area contractors and such, and try to bring a little bit of that here.
The event has grown in recent years to include as many as 800 attendees and 100 companies. Well, that's the celebration of Solution Tree giving the Carthage Intermediate Center a celebration box containing a flag and certificate of recognition. Solution Tree is a company that provides training and published materials for educators. The box was designed to recognize the center for achievements in enhancing student learning.
Oh my goodness, it is so exciting, such an affirmation of the hard work that our teachers put into collaboration on a daily and yearly basis.
The Intermediate Center is just one of 44 schools to receive one of those boxes. Joplin residents and business owners gathered at the Roxy yesterday evening to learn about what's going on and what's planned for the downtown area. The Downtown Alliance puts on the Downtown Now event 4 times a year. Last night's focus zeroed in on streetscaping and laid out design plans for the southern portion of the downtown corridor, one of many projects funded by the city's capital improvement sales tax. Attendees also got the chance to learn about Liberty Utilities' rebate program for businesses and find out how they can replace their existing lighting with LED lights. Well, we know when Whataburger will open in Joplin. The sign in front of the restaurant, it says the opening date is May 13th. It's at 2014 South Rangeline. They also hosted opening interviews there yesterday. Another Whataburger location is going up in Webb City. Crews laid asphalt there Friday. It's not clear when that location will be open. Well, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. 51 passengers who were stranded after a flood swept their bus in Kenya have been rescued. Plus, military leaders are warning Congress that Ukraine is in danger of losing the war against Russia. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Sponsored by Aaron Sachs & Associates, proud partner of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, topping World Watch, President Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida celebrating the relationship between the U.S. and Japan during last night's state dinner. The president emphasizing his gratitude for the U.S.-Japan alliance, especially as tensions rise in the South China Sea and the Indo-Pacific. During the Prime Minister's visit, the two leaders are focusing on strengthening their defense alliance and technology partnerships. The Japanese Prime Minister and President Biden also meeting with the President of the Philippines this week at a historic summit. The leaders are expected to discuss cooperation in the South China Sea. Amanda Knox is back on trial in Italy, charged with wrongly accusing a Congolese man of murdering her roommate while she was an exchange student. The case revolves around the 2007 murder of Meredith Kircher. Knox was convicted of the crime but was later exonerated after the European Court of Human Rights ruled her interrogation violated her rights as there was no lawyer or official translator present. The now 36-year-old woman is being tried in absentia in Florence. Her accusation against bar owner Patrick Lumumba appeared in statements typed by police that she signed, but those documents have been ruled inadmissible in the new trial. Knox did recant the accusation in a 4-page handwritten note in English the following afternoon. That is the only evidence the court can rule on. The court recessed after 4 hours of arguments and is scheduled to reconvene on June 5th. 51 passengers who were stranded after a flood swept their bus in Kenya have been rescued. The bus attempted to cross a flooded area of the road as it was headed to the capital Tuesday. It was surrounded by raging waters and became stuck in the mud. Some passengers managed to escape through the windows. The almost 10-hour mission helped to rescue all passengers aboard the bus. Police are searching for the driver, who is said to have put the lives of his passengers in danger after ignoring their concerns and attempting to drive through the water. Military leaders are warning Congress Ukraine is in danger of losing the war against Russia if Congress doesn't pass a critical defense spending bill. Senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has the story.
The stakes are very high.
The head of America's U.S. forces in Europe on Capitol Hill Wednesday, telling House lawmakers Ukraine is on the brink of being overrun by Russia.
If we do not continue to support Ukraine, Ukraine will run out of artillery shells and will run out of air defense interceptors in fairly short order.
Supporters of more Ukraine spending suggest that if the country runs out of needed material, America will be at fault. Right now, the U.S. provides the bulk of Ukraine's artillery and air defense interceptors. Ukrainian forces are currently rationing what they have left as they wait for Congress to pass a delayed $60 billion supplemental bill.
Ukraine's defenses and its population will face devastation without additional U.S. security assistance to join with Europe's.
But the bill has been stuck in the House for months as Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson faces pushback from members of his own party, many of whom refuse to vote on it until the nation's border security is addressed.
I'm not giving Ukraine a nickel.
Johnson is even facing a threat of his very leadership over the issue.
I accept that it's a complicated choice. I accept that he's at risk of losing his job over that choice. But that's what leadership is. It's the big boy pants and making tough choices.
Speaker Johnson says the House is actively discussing options to move the bill forward, but has given no timeline on when he plans to bring it to a vote.
That's a look at World Watch. We'll be right back.
This is Scott with Windows for Less. With springtime in mind, so is spring cleaning with our free at home estimate. If you want the best for less, call Windows for Less.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:47 now on this Thursday morning, and this is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. Winds starting to pick up out there, and they're again really going to ramp up as we head into the late morning and afternoon hours. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line looking fairly good this morning as well. We are dry across the area as well. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, just south of Pittsburgh, is looking fairly good as well. And then there's this, our camera. There's a lot of cameras. This is 7th and range line in Joplin. We're looking good. 49 in Joplin right now. Feels like 45. West-northwest breeze at about 9 miles an hour, but we're starting to see those gusts up to about 20 or so, and they're going to pick up this afternoon. Actually, they're going to pick up in the next 3 hours. All right, we still have some upper 40s out there. Most of us in the low to mid 50s, so again, not a bad start to the day. Chilly, but not a bad start. We're going to be partly cloudy to begin, and then we're going to start to see clearing skies. Still, again, cool, though, about 53 by 11 o'clock. And, again, those winds are going to start to ramp up. So it'll be out in the northwest, 15 to 25 with gusts 35, maybe even 40 miles an hour. So do be aware of that if you're out driving today. We're looking at mostly clear skies through the day. Again, a little below average, but not bad with plentiful sunshine out there, low to mid 60s. And we'll have some partly cloudy skies here and there through the evening hours. Then we'll clear out again overnight. Go mostly clear, and without that cloud cover, though, it's going to get chilly, upper 30s, low 40s. Then as we head into next week, we are watching the potential for some strong, potentially severe thunderstorms by Monday night into early Tuesday morning. So here's what we are looking at right now. By Monday evening, we're going to start to see a few of these showers and thunderstorms get going, and then by late Monday, so we're talking 10, maybe 11 o'clock at night, that's when those thunderstorms are really going to ramp up. So now the question that we're looking at is to how long they hold their strength. So by Tuesday, 5 o'clock, right now, we are looking at these storms being an ongoing concern as we head into early Tuesday morning across the area before they start to roll out of here by the afternoon. And we do have a severe risk area that's been highlighted for our area for the last few days. So confidence levels are high that we're going to see some strong to severe storms Monday night into Tuesday. And we're going to keep a very close eye on that. But this is just kind of your heads up that Tuesday is a day, Monday night into Tuesday is a time we need to seriously watch. Now, between here and there, though, take a look at this. Going into the 80s into the weekend, then we'll have those thunderstorm chances out there. We stay warm after that first round of storms, and we have some additional rain chances Thursday and Friday that will cool us back down into the 50s. Let's check your, your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Ford pickup and delivery service today through your local Midwest Ford dealer or the Ford Pass app.
There's a reading crisis in Indiana. According to state education officials, 1 in 5 third graders failed a reading test last year. But some think cute dogs can change that trend and help kids become better readers. Vic Reichert reports on a nonprofit program that trains service dogs and their handlers in Indianapolis to sit down with kids and read.
Roxy wants to hear.
Love stops for hugs.
6-year-old Ruth Street is reading to Roxy, a golden retriever mix whose job is to help kids feel comfortable and confident enough to read a book out loud.
It can be hard at the end of the day of a long school day to sit down and practice reading a little bit longer, but having a cute pup beside you can certainly help.
The Glendale Branch Library on the northeast side is one of several area libraries using dogs as reading partners in the Pause to Read program.
Join the wise owls of
they're the perfect buddy for learning to read, and the kids really just seem to come out of their shell like far more than if a dog wasn't there.
Children's librarian Nancy Poppleton says the program is important, especially in a state where the Department of Education says 1 in 5 third graders failed the standardized reading test last year.
This is a game changer in that, because kids who especially are reluctant readers or they think they don't like reading, this makes it so much more palatable for them because the dog doesn't do anything except for wag its tail.
Ruth is a kindergarten student at Clearwater Elementary School.
This is the book that I read. It is called Run, Shop for Pug.
She was among about a half dozen kids who visited the library to read to Roxy on Tuesday night.
It was like I was feeding to my little sister, but it was actually a dog.
Well, her sister is definitely less furry than Roxy, but she's also a good listener.
But Street says regardless,
Good job.
the confidence Ruth is gaining through this is what matters.
Every dog in the program must complete intense training before they're certified and allowed to work at libraries, hospitals, and other settings. We'll be right back.
Greg Kelly, Vice President of Operations with Phoenix Home Care.
We have a music and dance theme featuring Nellie Don the Musical and 2 short films. Tickets are only $10, so go online and get yours now.
Well, a new sweet treat is coming your way. Krispy Kreme and Kit Kat joined forces to create their brand new Take a Bite, Take a Break donut collection. The limited time treat features 3 donuts packed with creamy chocolate and crispy wafers. Customers will be able to order the new items through the store via pickup or delivery via Krispy Kreme's app and website. Krispy Kreme lovers can also find a limited time Krispy Kreme 6-pack featuring the salted caramel brownie in select grocery stores. Well, a lot of us celebrate our pets every day, but doing so is especially important today because it's National Pet Day, observed every year on April 11th. National Pet Day is dedicated to pets who may not be getting the attention and companionship they deserve. We're talking about orphan pets, whether their owners have passed away or are ill. So take a moment and look for a chance to help out an orphan pet.
And today's a great day to take your favorite pet outside. Dog park or whatever, because it is going to be relatively decent. It's going to be breezy though. We're looking at northwest winds 15 to 25, gusting 35, maybe 40 miles an hour out there, but skies will clear through the morning. It's going to be a little cool, 53 by 11. We're ultimately heading for highs into the low to mid 60s out there, but again, breezy and maybe a stray cloud or 2. Into the evening, could have some partly cloudy skies or even maybe briefly mostly cloudy skies for some of us, and then we'll clear out again overnight, but of course without the clouds, no thermal blanket. It's going to be pretty chilly tonight, upper 30s and low 40s across the area. However, chilly is not going to be a word we use for a while, as we're going to soar into the 80s heading into this weekend. Beautiful weekend ahead of us out there. Bit breezy on Saturday as well. And we are watching thunderstorm chances by next Tuesday. Now, some of those could be strong, potentially severe. So we're giving you a heads up now that we want to keep a close eye on late Monday and into Tuesday morning across the area. Now, after that round of storms, we do stay warm, so that'll give us an opportunity for additional showers and storms Thursday and Friday, and we'll cool back down by the end of next week, back into the 50s. Let's check your forecast. Got another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Hero Fund USA and KOAM News Now